Hello friends, welcome back. Let's start the setup of Oracle ClusterWare and complete some remaining OS level prerequisites. And the most important of them all is configuring the hosts file, right? And stopping the NTPT protocol. So let's get started. Okay, so let's configure the hosts file on all the nodes. The host file configuration is the most, I can say, the topmost part of whatever you will be configuring anything after that. So that is the most important part before installing anything. I actually forgot to set up the hosts configuration file earlier. Really sorry about that, but we will cover that part. So what you need to do is to log in using the root credential, because you cannot use the Oracle credential to change the host file, because the binaries are owned by and the directory is owned by and the file is owned by the root. Okay, so let's check how it is done. As I have already defined that to create the listeners and different type of listener and different type of, okay, what do you call that, pathway to connect to the database. There will be different type of listeners running on the database itself. So there is VIP and that is virtual IP and running on top of the local node. Okay, that is very much required for the failover scenario. Okay, and in case the node fails completely. And the other one is scan listener. Scan listener requires 3 IP addresses, and because we have 3 nodes, so scan listener is not dependent on the number of nodes. So let's say you have 5 node, but still Oracle recommends to set up 3 scan IPs, and those will be public IPs, not the private IP. Okay, so you need to make sure that. And the virtual IP are completely 1:1 with the node. So let's say you have 3 nodes. In case of the current situation, we have 3 nodes, so there will be 3 virtual IPs are public as well. Okay, so you need to make sure that there will be 3 IPs you already have available. And now you might have confusion of how you are getting these public IPs. When you are connected in your home, right, and you have laptop, mobile phone and different devices, you have a router actually have a DHCP server running, right, and DHCP functionality running on top of it. DHCP, what it will do, it will have range of IP addresses. Okay, it will lease those IP addresses. Okay, lease those IP addresses to you, so you can use those IP addresses to connect to the internet. There will be private IP addresses as well, which will not let you route to the internet. Those one will be used for the private interconnect. Okay, that's I already defined, right? We will have 2 network interface card. One will be for public, one will be for private. So there will be 3 public IPs for 3 nodes and 3 private IP for 3 nodes. Then there will be 3 virtual IP, 3 public virtual IPs and 3 public scan IPs. Okay, and 3 private IPs. So let me show what I'm trying to say. Need to configure this. This is very important step. Otherwise the software itself will not be able to find out which machine is this. Okay, and it will not be able to resolve the host to IP address. Okay, this is kind of a DNS server for your local machine. There will be an IP to the name mapping. Okay, so let me show you what all IPs I'm using. So this is the complete IP addresses. 3 nodes, okay, will have 3 public IPs. They are letting me connect to the internet. I have created a private IPs. These private IPs are completely dependent upon my VMware setup. What I'm thinking is come up with another video of what is private and what is public IP and how we can set up everything. Okay, with the help of diagram, so that you guys can actually take the help of that particular video and can set up everything at your home environment. The students who already know about this, they will be very comfortable, and the student who do not know a slight bit of networking will face some issues. If any one of you will face any issues, please comment on my videos and then I will help you out. Okay, so this will be the network address. Okay, so 192.168.68, you already saw that. So this will be the private. Okay, these are the 10.10. whatever, right? These are the public. So the 3 virtual IPs according to 3 nodes. And scan, the scan is recommended only 3, even though if you have 10 node cluster, Oracle recommends to have 3 node. Okay, let's copy and paste on all nodes in the host section. I'll paste it, save it. Okay, do the last bit of it, vi/etc/host. So this is done. So this is done. Let's validate everything. You guys can create your own this type of file and save it somewhere, so that in future if you want to install something, you don't need to write and rewrite everything. Okay, so let's start from starting. So these are the bits and pieces we have already completed. These are the OS level pre-installation. Okay, this has been done. Group created, directory created, permission has been changed, the subdirectory created, we have copied the file to the location, we have completed the setup of OS. Okay, then we have set up the disk. Let's check the NTPD status. Okay, this is very much required because the nodes must be in sync. You need to make sure the NTPD service, that is OS level service, has to be stopped, or else if the nodes are not in sync, the node will be evicted. The other nodes will think that the one node which is not in sync is actually having issues, and it's not, they are not able to communicate with each other. The node will be evicted and the node will keep on restarting. Okay, you don't want that. So for that, please stop the NTPD service. So systemctl status NTPD dot service, no, stop. Okay, so the thing is that initially during the operating system setup, I have unchecked the NTPD itself, so it's not loading, so it's a good thing. Okay, so I'll check on all of them better, right? I don't want this particular service to be running on any one of them, and I hope that I haven't started any one of them. Okay, so yeah, so everything is done. This is particular thing is done. We have already copied the file. Now let's use the Oracle ID and close all this. I have closed the Oracle as well. So we will log in using the root later. Let me connect the first one because I accidentally closed it, and set up properly. Okay, let's go to the grid location. Grid home. Let's list it. Okay, so unzip it. Okay, need to unzip it. So the extraction has been completed. Let's clear the screen. Okay, list it again. We can remove this file rm. We don't need it anymore. Okay, now we have to use the grid setup.sh. Okay, in 11gr2 it was run installer.sh, but in the latest version 12.2 and beyond, you will see grid setup.sh. Okay, so you have to run like this. Hold on for a minute. You will see a graphical user interface coming up. Okay, it's here. Select the first option because we will be setting up the new cluster. Okay, don't worry about others. Go ahead. You need to set up an Oracle standalone cluster. Don't worry about others. Okay, just select the first one. Go ahead. Select the cluster name. The cluster name is actually completely associated with the GNS, but we are not setting up GNS, but the cluster name has to be given. So make sure provide some unique cluster name. I will leave that to whatever it has provided. Okay, and this one I forgot what I gave the rack scan name as. Just a second, let's validate it. So node scan. Okay, this has to be same. Node scan. The scan port is okay. Let's move on. It will validate the scan name, okay, from the hosts file which you have set up. Okay, so you need to make sure that it is set up properly. Now it is asking for the public host name and the virtual host name. As we all know, we have set up a public name. Okay, and one more thing, I think I have messed up somewhere. Just a second guys. Yeah, I am 100% I have messed something up, because why I am saying that is I had to change these names as rack, but I actually forgot to change it. So what I will do, let me reconfigure everything to rack 1, rack 2 and rack 3, because the name is rack 1, rack 2 and rack 3 for my machines. Okay, but I have copied and pasted node 1, node 2 and node 3. This was from my previous class, so I have to change it. So let me change it and come back on all the hosts file. Okay, we don't need to restart everything here. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so I have changed everything. So what I have changed it when I cat it. Okay, I just changed the node 1 to rack 1 according to my machine name. Okay, and everything will be rack 1 VIP, rack 1 prev and rack scan. Okay, so now it is accordance to my machine, otherwise everything would have failed. So we are on the correct page. Let me minimize everything and let's be on the desktop to have a complete concentration of what I'm doing. Okay, let's select the standalone cluster, and this will be rack scan. Okay, rack scan. Let's validate. It will go and check the hosts file. Now everything looks fine. Okay, so rack 2 hyphen VIP. Okay, and there is another node, so we need to enter the public host name and virtual IP. Okay, so rack 3 virtual IP. Okay, We need to create the passwordless login so that while installation, Oracle will copy all the binaries to the other two nodes as well, right? We will start the installation from the first node. So make sure the Oracle password for all three nodes are same. Okay, enter the password, set it up. It will set up everything in .ssh directory. It will create as .ssh directory. It will connect, and then it will push the keys, okay, the private keys into all the locations. Now let's move forward. It is checking the road readiness and everything, including if it is able to connect to all the nodes. It can see all the nodes. Okay, it can ping all the nodes. It should be fine. We will move forward pretty soon. Okay, it has validated public private interfaces and everything. Okay, did I do something wrong again? I hope not, because it is not showing me that private interface is up. The private interface must be up. Okay, oh man, go back, let me check in front of you guys. Be the root ifconfig. What the hell? Is there any problem? Let me check on the other node. See, the small problems are not a problem. The thing is that better to validate it before starting the installation. I thought that everything is fine, and for that reason I did not validate it. Where is the second node? Why the second node is slow? Seems like it is slow. It is very slow. It is up. I don't know what has happened. Just a second, let me validate it again. So let me show you what has happened. Okay, so let's go to one of the nodes. Let me log in. Username will be root. We will check the interface. Okay, and this will show us what has happened. Just wait for a moment, it will come up. Okay, what we will do, we will see this, and you see this, the second interface is off, and we will see the wired setting. What has happened? This is off, and we will see the setting. This has to be connect automatically. The IP addresses are set up properly. Okay, so that was the problem, connect automatically. Just apply it, cancel it. In your situation you must have done it properly. In my situation I have not. Really sorry about that. Okay, so this will be root again, and we have to follow the same guideline or the same path. Okay, so this has to be turned on and has to be connected automatically. IP addresses are perfect. IPv4 is perfect as well. So the IP address was set up properly. Just the thing was that it was not started. So when I check from my end, so I was able to connect as well. So I will check ifconfig. I will see the IP addresses, right? Last time I was not able to see it. See, currently I'm not able to see it for the interface 34. If I see ifconfig, okay, I'll see the IP addresses. So now everything should be smooth, and we should see the two interfaces, one public and one private. These are the small things, but actually gives you better experience of what is happening. Okay, so this is not private, so this will be do not use, and this will be ASM and private. Okay, let's move on. Now you have to set up an Oracle Flex ASM for storage. Okay, GIMR you are not going to set up. Next. Now this is very important section. You saw that I used the Oracle ASM tool and used the create ASM command to create the disk ext data and FRA, right? Now this section, what it does is it creates the, so currently in the current situation, Oracle ASM cannot use the disks to store the data files. It has to be mounted and it should be set up as a virtual name. Okay, that is called disk group. Okay, so disk group is the virtual name for the disks. Okay, whatever disks we are going to attach. So let's say if you have 3 disks, data 1, data 2 and data 3, you can all use those 3 disks, each 10 GB, and associate those 3 disks with data group name. Now you have a 30 GB virtual disk. Okay, so we are going to create a disk group. The first disk group will be ext. The reason being that we are installing the clusterware. Currently we are not installing the database, we are installing the clusterware. All the cluster files, most importantly the voting disk and the voting file, as well as the OCR file will be staying there. Okay, as well as the ASM instance file and password file, and all those files will be set up here. Okay, so you need to make sure first of all create the ext disk group. Okay, I am selecting external redundancies. It means nothing, so there is no mirroring going on. Okay, so whatever files will be created under those disks will not be replicated, kind of no mirroring will happen. So in case the data disk which we created earlier fails, there is no replica disk available. Okay, but in the real environment you usually will use high or normal, and in the current environment people use flex as well. For more information on these disks, on these options, you can go to my video Oracle ASM. Okay, cancel this. Now you cannot see the disk. We need to find these disks under Oracle ASM/disks, and you say this. Okay, you created disk under this particular partition. Automatically we will select ext. Okay, we'll say next. We will set up password for these elevated users, elevated being privileged users. Okay, clusterware installation takes time according to your resources, your laptop where you are trying to install, or your computer or your desktop, whatever it is. So how much RAM you have, if you have solid state drive or the normal HDD drive, the IO operation depends on this, the processor and those things. It completely depends on your resources. Clusterware installation is big and it takes a lot of time to copy. First of all, install on the current node, on the local node, and then transfer the files to the other node as well. So It's kind of 3 times the installation, right? So it may take some time. You don't need to check this box, leave that whatever it is. Now this is what I said earlier. If you do not define the software location and do not extract the zip file here, okay, and then what will happen is wherever you extract it, it will become a software location and you cannot change it. In earlier version you could be able to change it, but not this time. Okay, now change this to Oracle, the grid base. We created directory grid base, right? So make sure to create this grid base directory. Okay, this has to be same. This is all okay. Everything is fine, don't need to select it. Now it will check the prerequisite. There will be lot of things which will be failing. Some of the things we can avoid, and some of the things we will need to go in and set it up now. So let's see what it throws. It will verify using its pre-installation or prerequisite checks utility. I thought there will be many things, but there are not many things. We can resolve this one. Okay, how do you resolve it? Is using the root account. Go to the grid directory where you extracted the files. So let's go to that location, grid, home. Okay, list it. You go to cd cv. Okay, cd rpm, list it, and you have to actually install it. So rpm install verbosely and in human readable format cvuq disk. This is done. What we will do, we will transfer this file. As you know that we will not have this file because we unzipped the binaries here only, right? All those binaries are not available on those locations. So what we will do, we will copy it into any specific location into those 2 nodes, and then we will go in and install locally. So how do you do that? scp secure copy, and then copy that file to 192.168. What was that? 10.172/grid. Okay, we will copy that to /grid. It will ask for the password, root password. That's done. We'll copy into the 3rd node as well. Yes. Okay, so it's copied on both the locations. cd/grid. Okay, rpm-ivhc. So it's all done. Let's rerun it, check again. Other things you cannot resolve because the thing is you need a DNS server to resolve it. We will not be using DNS server here. For more information of how you set up cluster using the DNS, okay, and register the scan IPs and virtual IPs into the DNS server, you can look at my video on how to install Oracle RAC on 12c release 2 multi-tenant. Okay, now you don't see that issue. You can just say ignore and let's move on. Install it. Now I will actually come back when we will reach to a particular point where we will get a pop-up and it will ask to install 2 binaries. It will ask us to run 2 scripts, right? I will come back at that time and I will start running those scripts. The bigger one will be root.sh on both nodes. Okay, So I'll see you then. So we have reached to that point. So it's asking us to run these two particular scripts, right? There are two of them to these three nodes. Now this is very important section. Why it is important is these two script has to be run one after another on node 1, then node 2, then node 3. Okay, you cannot randomize it, so make sure it should be run on first and then second, then third. Okay, so we will do it accordingly. Let's copy it. Let's go on node 1 because you have to be root, okay, to run this. Run it, run. Okay, run properly. We are on the second node. Let's paste it. It's done. So in regards to what it is doing, it's changing the permission for this particular folder. Okay, and it is adding read and write permission for the group. That's what it is doing. Okay, so all these three are run. Now this will be the longest one. Okay, it will be setting up all the resources, the clusterware resources. Okay, it will be installing everything, so it will take time. And it has to be run from node 1, then node 2, and then node 3. Okay, so go on first node. Okay, enter, then enter again. Okay, and then just wait. It will take around 5 to 10 minutes, and again it will depend on the resources you have. It will take some time. As soon as this is done and it shows that the clusterware has been set up properly and it will say it's succeeded, then you have to go to the second node and run the script again. It will go through and make sure the node is part of the cluster, and it will install all the resources, okay, including the virtual IP, the listeners, and all those things, right? And go to the third node and do the same thing. As soon as everything is done, then only you click OK. Don't click OK now, okay, otherwise everything will start failing. Okay, so I'll come back as soon as this is succeeded, and then we will run on second node and then on third node. Now the setup has been successfully completed. Okay, as you can see, okay, it's succeeded. Now let's run the same script on the second one. Okay, let's copy that and let's run it here. Enter. Okay, now we will finally run on the third node, as this one has also been succeeded. Okay, so I'll paste it. Okay, sorry, I have to copy it again. Copy it, clear the screen, paste it, run it. So the installation has been completed on all the nodes. Okay, let's check the process. And actually, you know what, we will need to say okay and let this finish as well. And one more important thing, that at the end of this complete setup, the Oracle Grid infrastructure library, or this particular binary or whatever setup is going on, it will actually use this Oracle cluster verification utility to validate everything, and it will throw the error. The reason being that we have not set up the DNS and scan in the DNS. That's the reason it will throw the error. Okay, so don't worry about that error, just cancel it out of it. Okay, as soon as the error is thrown, just say next, and then you will say cancel and then complete the setup. Okay, so let's finish this off and then I'll come back. So it has started checking and using the Oracle cluster verification utility. It will verify each and everything, okay, different components. Okay, if everything is fine according to the clusterware. Okay, but eventually it will throw the error in regards to the DNS setup. Okay, don't worry about that, and then we will exit out of it. So now you can see that it has thrown the error in the cluster verification utility. You will see the details. It has shown the log. Okay, you say just okay, and you see the details where it has failed. I don't know where it has failed. It has definitely failed on here, right? Okay, yeah, the DNS. So don't worry about it. Close it. Next, say yes and close it off. Okay, clear the screen. Let's validate the process. Okay, so ASM is running fine. ASM is running fine here as well. And what we will do, we will set up the environment variable to ASM1. Okay. Cat slash etc slash aura tab. Oh, so it is not here. Okay, so aura tab has been created, but the entry has not been created. What we will do is we will vi, okay, and then change the slash etc slash aura tab, and you will say plus asm1, and then you have to provide the grid home, cd slash grid home. Okay, present working directory. Is it restarted or what? I don't know why the network has an issue. Okay, it has connected. Some issue or the other. So cd slash grid home. Okay, so this is the home present working directory. We will copy this, we will paste it here, and colon n. We will copy everything and make sure these entries are there on the other nodes. vi slash etc. Where is the second node gone? I think there is an issue on the second node somewhat. Let's change it on the third node. Not here, sorry. Okay, what you need to do is vi slash etc slash aura tab, go to the bottom, paste the entry, and change the instance ASM instance to 2. Okay, and let's see if we can connect to this. Yeah, we are able to connect vi slash etc slash aura tab. I would suggest to create only 2 nodes, because the problem is, because we are using virtual machine, there are so much network lag. It keeps on creating network issues. Okay, 2 nodes is more than enough. Okay, so we will set up environment variable plus asm1, that is set up, and then we will use crs ctl status resource -t, and it will show you the resources, the cluster resources. The databases are still not up. Okay, the ext disk is up and online on all 3 nodes, but the data disk and FRA disk is not up. We have to mount that disk and make sure to install the database under it, and then you will see the data as well as the FRA disk. Other than that, the listeners are up. Scan listener is up, virtual IP is up. Okay, ASM listener is up, ASM itself is up. Okay, this group is up, and local listener is up on 3 nodes. So that's fine. So everything is running fine. So let's close this session, and then I will come back for the installation of Oracle database software and then Oracle database itself. Okay, thank you very much for watching.